What is up, everyone? Welcome back to the Commander's Lair. It's Joey here with another deck tech. Today I'll be showing you my Gabriel Angelfire deck tech. This is probably one of the more obscure and kind of old commanders I've done on my channel. This is what I love to build and love to show you guys because it's my favorite thing. That being said, that these videos you guys do seem to like less, so let me know what you do like more. If you like some of the newer commanders, I've got a commander from Baldur's Gate, so that hasn't even out yet. I've got that coming soon. But I also like to do a lot of deck techs like this. Otherwise, I'll just get straight into the video. Basically, Gabriel Angelfire is 3 white, white, and green, green, 7 mana total for a 4/4. His original deck is some legend, but it's eroded to be a legendary creature angel. And so he has during your upkeep, Gabriel Angelfire gains one of the following abilities until your next upkeep: Flying, First Strike, Trample, or Rampage 3. So interestingly, with this guy is that he stays he keeps the ability till the end of the next turn, or to the start of your next turn, so it has it on opponent's turns. We won't really be utilizing that ability. I think it's just interesting to note though. Basically what we're going to be building around is that Rampage 3. So basically what Rampage means is whenever he blocks or becomes blocked by a creature, he gets +3/+3, and that triggers for every single creature. So if he's blocked by 3 creatures, he gets +9/+9. And basically just keeps going up. And so we're building off that ability, trying to make him be blocked by creatures, forcing it, and then basically making him punch through for damage and kind of trample over it. So it's sort of a Voltron deck, but it's a lot more gimmicky as well because it kind of revolves on that Rampage ability and forcing those blocks as a kind of a lure deck. Okay, so right before we get into the main part of this video, I do want to apologize just real quick for the quality. On some of the cards, I have basically changed what I use to gather all the images that I need for the footage. So a lot of most of my videos now, all the recent ones, all the cards have been a much higher quality. But just for whatever reason, for this video, most of the cards have had rendering issues, and I can't really figure out why. But anyway, basically straight onto the ramp now. We're playing a lot of cards like Explosive Vegetation, so it's 3 and a green for a sorcery. Search your library up to 2 basic lands and put them onto the battlefield tapped, and then shuffle your library. So basically, this is obviously a really common card that everyone knows this card. I'm basically playing all kinds of cards that are like this. Just to kind of, get to Gabriel, because obviously it is a lot paying 7 mana for your commander that doesn't do anything immediately because it doesn't have haste. So just a lot of those kind of 4 mana ramps to get out late, or other kind of cards like Gift of Paradise, which is nice. It has just a nice little mana bump, additional value, maybe 3 life can help us hang in there a bit till later game. Just kind of additional ramp like that is kind of nice. Now I'm going to spend a bit of time talking about the card draw in this deck because there is some very specific kind of card draw that I've been talking about a lot lately that I just think works really well. So cards like Hunter's Prowess is perfect for this deck. It's 4 and a green for a sorcery. Until end of turn, target creature gets +3/+3 and gains Trample. And whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, draw that many cards. So Trample pairs incredibly well with Rampage, because basically if you block a bunch of 1/1s and you get +3/+3 for each of them, basically that's 2 extra power that goes nowhere, but with Trample that all kind of tramples over. And so if you block a bunch of creatures, you're basically dealing massive damage. So this is, effectively a win con staple to card draw, because if we're drawing 10 plus cards for 5 mana, it's obviously a really nice rate. This is similar to Risk Card Expertise. This is a card that I love. I've never been able to play it though much because it's just not been in the budget, but after 2 new recent reprints in the most recent commander sets, it's just down to like 76 cents, I think. So it's 4 green green for sorcery, draw cards with the greatest power among creatures you control. Obviously 6 mana for that effect is not bad. We've seen better mana cost. I think 5 is the best we have for that. Maybe Soul's Majesty in this deck, I think 6 as well is just a great effect, but also this has, you may cast a spell with mana value 5 or less from your hand without playing it. So a lot of the ways we win in this deck, all the cards that I've mentioned so far, both of those ramp cards, or even Hunter's Prowess, you can play just with Risk Card Expertise while drawing a ridiculous amount of cards. Also, this is liable with Gabriel if it blocks a bunch of creatures to literally draw you like 20 or 30 cards. I know a lot of the cards I talk about in this deck or in my channel, I talk about how incredible crazy they are and kind of best case scenario. But I think it's not that bad in a deck where it's the entire theme is doing this to run cards that are only going to work if you're doing what you're trying to be doing, because it's pretty obvious that that's kind of all we're literally trying to achieve in the entire deck. So I think it works fine. This is Hemp's Infiltration Lens. It's 1 colorless for an artifact equipment with equip 1, so only 2 mana. Whenever equipped creature becomes blocked by creature, you may draw 2 cards. So this counts per creature gets blocked by. So if you block 5 or 6 creatures, you're drawing 10, 12 cards just constantly every single turn, which is a really, really great rate. So this is the only kind of uncertain part of the deck where it's a little less thematic and kind of straightforward. So we're basically going to be making sure our opponents have ways to block and kind of getting the maximum we can out of our abilities. So Sylvan Offering, basically it's X and a green. Choose an opponent, you and that player each create an X tree for a creature token. That's not great, that first part. It's obviously not bad because we kind of both get a decent amount. The most important thing is choose an opponent. You and that player each create X1 green elf warrior creature tokens. So that's the important thing. We get blockers out of it, but most importantly, we give our opponents things to block with. So we give them 10 1/1s and they have to block with 10 1/1s, then Gabriel Angelfire is going to get pumped up by 3 for every single one of those when we attack them. So it's basically just really useful for that. Similar with Jangling Automaton, it's 3 colors for a 3/2. When it attacks, untap all creatures defending player controls. So basically, our opponents, they can tap their creatures, use them for value. But when we come in and we're going to try and use those creatures to block with, we're going to make sure they're available. We're making sure they're all untapped, forcing them to block our creatures so nothing is safe from Gabriel's ability. And Stray Resonator, this is a great value creature, value artifact. You can use it for all kinds of effects. I'm sure you can find different ways in this deck to abuse it. The main reason it was put in there for, basically, so it's 2 mana and then it has 2 untap, copy target triggered ability you control. We can copy Gabriel's ability, so we can on face give him Trample and give him Rampage. I guess first strike if you want, but probably not. Or flying if you really want to, again, probably not. We can give him Trample and Rampage just on a face value immediately, which is really, really useful value for only 4 mana in total. Or every single turn it's only 2. Basically to set up the deck to win straight up, just all we need is a lure effect. So next onto the removal, this is where the deck gets slightly mean because this is kind of mass removal every single turn, which I don't really like. I was considering not putting this stuff in the deck, but I kind of just ended up kind of caving and put it in because it's just so thematic and it's a really, really fun card. So cards like Elven Warhounds, it's 3 and a green for a 2/2. When it is, if Elven Warhounds is blocked by any creature, put that creature on top of its library. So instead of targeting Gabriel with Elven Warhounds, or we can attack a different person, kill their creatures, and attack another person with Gabriel. But basically what we're going to be doing is just using the lure effect. If we have multiple in our hands, we can do it on both, and literally just killing every single one of their creatures, putting it on top of the library, just for every single creature, which obviously is quite mean because it blows them out and they can't draw any cards, but it is really useful. Engulfing Slabworm is similar. It's 5 green for a 7/7. When it blocks or becomes blocked by a creature, destroy that creature, then you gain life with the creature's toughness. So basically the same thing. You attack someone, lure it, and just destroy their entire board and gain life with the toughness, probably just get to have a stupid amount of life. Really useful. And then Gorgon's Flail, I don't know if this counts particularly as removal. It's more kind of synergistic with his ability, so it's 2 colorless for an artifact equipment. It gets equip 2, equip creatures plus one has Death Touch. So basically, this, if you guys didn't know, I'm sure you probably do by now, is really useful with Trample, right? So if you attack someone with a 5/5 and they block with a 2/2, you only have to assign lethal damage. So you assign 1 point of damage to the person, and then you trample over for 4 instead of just trampling over 3 if you didn't have Death Touch. So a better example would be a 5/5 and a 4/4. If you attack that, you can trample over for 4 damage, only 1 because 1 is lethal because of Death Touch. So this works really well with Gabriel. If we block a bunch of creatures, give him Death Touch, we only have to assign 1 point of damage of the extra 3 that we get for every single creature. So it kind of treats them all like as if they were 1/1, so we can just trample over for heaps of damage, and it's really useful for kind of finishing the game in this deck. So being that Gabriel's 7 mana, he can be hard to get out, and if he gets removed, it's a massive blowout for us. It's likely we're not going to be able to come back, so having substitutes that we can cast instead can be really useful. So cards like Gorilla Berserkers, it's 3 green for a 2/3 with Trample and Rampage 2. Cannot be blocked by fewer than 3 creatures, so it's kind of like Menace plus. Craw Giant is 3 green. So there's obviously restrictive casting cost for 4 green mana, 7 total. But we are running almost entirely green in this deck. There's almost no white. There's literally I think 15 white cards or something, and it's a 6/4 with Trample and Rampage 2, and then Tika's Dragon is 9 mana for 5/5, obviously really expensive as well, but it can be worth it. It has Flying, Trample, Rampage 4, so this is just ridiculous because Rampage 4 is even bigger. Trample, it comes with Trample, so it's better. This is probably better than Gabriel, obviously costs 2 more mana. If this could be my commander, it probably would be. It also has Flying, so it's sort of harder to block. This is ridiculous. Basically, all these substitutes, what they're going to be doing is they're going to be coming with Trample and Rampage, so they come in with stealth. So all we need to do is put a lure on these, and they work just like Gabriel does. Basically, you're going to giving that buff, trampling over all the extra damage they get from that buff, and kind of winning the game just as Gabriel would be. This is a bit of magic lingo for you. I've been dropping the term lure the entire video. So this has literally been coined off the card lure. It's 1 green for an enchantment aura, enchant creature. All creatures able to block enchanted creature do so. So basically this is going to force all of the creatures to block Gabriel Angelfire, and when they do, he's going to get an instance of Rampage 3 for every single one. So if he gets blocked by 4 1/1s, he's going to get +3/+3 for each of them, and he's going to get +12/+12. And then obviously he's going to be a 16/16 because of his base 4 power. So giving him Trample is going to be a 16/16. It's likely that even though he's being blocked by 4 creatures, he's going to punch through for damage, deal a lot of damage. So the system with Odric Master Tactician, it's 2 white, white for 3/4. So whenever you and at least other 3 creatures attack, you choose which creatures block this combat and how this creature's blocked. So potentially, if you have a draw effect like Hunter's Prowess or kind of on damage effects, you think you can win just right out, you can use Odric's ability to just choose no blocks. Otherwise, you just pick every single creature blocking, and put them all onto your commander. Obviously, you do need to protect 3 other creatures, so the 2 others can come from all the other kind of creatures. We do have a lot of creatures in this deck, so it's not unlikely we can get that. And basically, we're just going to be fixing those blocks like that. Same as Revenge of the Hunted. This is probably the best card in the deck. It's 4 green with Miracle green, which doesn't matter. It's good. It's good even if we don't play the Miracle. Even if we don't play the Miracle cards, it's still one of the best cards in the deck. To sorcery until end of turn, target creature gets +6/+6 for 6 mana, so 6 power for 6 mana. It gets Trample, and all creatures able to block it do so. So it gets a massive buff. It gets Trample, which is what we need to combine with Gabriel Angelfire to get him going, and then it kind of lures all the creatures, so it does literally every single thing this entire deck could be wanting. It pumps him, it gives him Trample, and it lures him. So basically, this is just ridiculous. It's honestly a win con. The easiest way to win in this deck probably is by casting this. It's just easily a finisher when he can just pump through for all damage on all the creatures that he's blocking. So as I mentioned, we do need Trample or some kind of effect like that to get our commander going. So basically, that's kind of the keywords that we're kind of trying to be getting onto him in this deck. So Dragon Fangs, it's 1 of the green for check creature, gets +1/+1 as Trample, and when a creature with CMC 6 or more, you return this from your graveyard to play enchanting that creature. So that's not bad. Basically, we can cast on that Claw Giant or that Tika's Dragon, or possibly even our commander if we replay it, and just kind of get it back for extra value. But really, what it's doing is just giving him Trample and enabling that kind of win con through that Rampage effect. And then Indomitable Might is 3 in the green for Flash Enchant creature. It gets +3/+3, and its creature make assign damage that it won't blocked. So basically, what we can do is Rampage up. So trigger on all these instances of creatures. Say again, as example used before, 16/16. Then you don't have to block it. So all the creatures that's blocking it, you don't have to hit them. You go straight through for the damage and hit it all on that player. So you hit them for 16 damage, which is a modest amount, honestly, by the time you got this deck going. And that's another really easy way to win. Just basically get all this power and get it straight through, not worrying about being blocked. Jeweler's Heritage is great as well. It's 2 and a white for the enchantment. Whenever one or more creatures attack, you may have target attacking creature gain double strike until end of turn. So this works well with Indomitable Might, obviously. It works well with Odric. It works well with all these lore effects as well, though, because basically what we're going to be doing is assigning all the damage we need to block the one creature, but then the second instance, so it's first strike and then regular, so the first strike is going to kill the creature, and then the regular damage is just going to hit the player. So basically what this does is kind of the same thing as Indomitable Might, because it's going to assign all the regular damage is meant to kill all those creatures, but then also going to deal its entire damage to the player as well. Thank you guys all so much for watching. I know this video was a longer one. It was also a bit more confusing and convoluted because it's obviously an older commander. Again, let me know what you think of that if you do like kind of seeing these older commanders, because I love making this. This is why I love Commander, just brewing old commanders like this. So if you guys do want to see more of this, definitely let me know. Otherwise, if you want a different commander, I'll build whatever commander you'd like. I'll get a video for you. Also, if there's any kind of deck or kind of video types that you'd like, I just posted a background video. I've got an underrated cards video as well, which I have more of coming on the way. Just any kind of video like that, let me know what you want me to do. Otherwise, also, this deck is quite good. It just takes a decent amount of time to get online, so maybe in a higher meta, if you do want to kind of play this in a more competitive, obviously not competitive, but in a more competitive scene, you want to bump up that ramp so you can get him out of the bit as quickly as possible, maybe drop off the amount of cards. I can also let you know if you want an upgraded budget version on this. Otherwise, I'd just like to thank you guys all for watching, and I'll see you guys all next time. Make sure you like and subscribe. Peace.